The year 2012 marked a moment in gaming history that no one saw coming. It was a year when two creative powerhouses joined forces to deliver something truly unique. On one side, Suda51, the visionary behind cult classics like Killer 7 and No More Heroes, known for his eccentric style and love for the bizarre. On the other, James Gunn, the filmmaker who would later bring us Guardians of the Galaxy, but at the time was celebrated for his work on cult hits like Dawn of the Dead and Slither. Together, they created a game that defied all conventions, Lollipop Chainsaw. A title that combined zombies, schoolgirls, chainsaws, lollipops, and a sense of humor so absurd that it could only come from minds like theirs. Today, we'll dive into one of my favorite games and its world of madness, exploring its development, story, successes, and flaws. Grab your donuts because this journey is full of blood, glitter, and above all, a lot of personality. The narrative. To understand Lollipop Chainsaw, it's essential to talk about its creators. Goichi Suda, better known as Suda51, is an iconic figure in the gaming industry. With a style that blends dark humor, surreal storytelling, and a unique visual approach, Suda51 has left his mark on titles like Killer 7, No More Heroes, and Shadows of the Damned. His philosophy has always been clear: to create experiences that challenge conventions and aren't afraid to be different. And if there's one thing Suda knows how to do well, it's create games that challenge everything you thought you knew about video games.
Yeah! Hey.
No boring formulas here, just pure chaos and creativity at full throttle.
Give us Rosalind now, and quit making fun of Stephen Hawking. He's a great man, you perv!
I'm the pervert?
On the other hand, James Gunn, though now widely recognized for his work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was better known in 2012 for his contributions to cult films like Dawn of the Dead and Slither. Gunn has a unique talent for blending horror with humor, something that aligned perfectly with Suda51's vision. A guy who can make a zombie both funny and terrifying at the same time? Perfect for creating something as crazy as Lollipop Chainsaw. The collaboration between the two stemmed from a simple yet powerful idea: to create a game that celebrated pop culture, B-movies, and classic video games. And so, Lollipop Chainsaw was born, a title that promised to be as fun as it was irreverent.
Gonorrhea face face! Gonorrhea! You've got gonorrhea face! Yay! The writing is...
The protagonist. The story of Lollipop Chainsaw revolves around Juliet Starling, an 18-year-old cheerleader who, on her birthday, faces a zombie invasion at her school. Juliet isn't just any girl. She comes from a family of zombie hunters and has been training her whole life for this moment. Armed with her pink chainsaw, Juliet cuts her way through hordes of the undead, but things take a turn for the worse when her boyfriend Nick gets bitten by a zombie. Because, of course, being a cheerleader isn't enough. You have to be a zombie hunter with a pink chainsaw, like any modern young woman. Who needs a superhero when you've got Juliet? In an act of love and a touch of desperation, Juliet cuts off Nick's head and, through a strange ritual, manages to keep it alive. From that moment on, Nick becomes her travel companion, or rather her peculiar keychain, offering sarcastic commentary and assisting her in combat with special moves. Together they face Swan, the villain behind the zombie outbreak, and his 5 bosses, each inspired by a different music genre. But it's not all about Juliet and Nick. The game is packed with secondary characters who add layers of madness to the story. There's the eccentric martial arts teacher Morikawa, who trains Juliet and gives her advice that's as bizarre as it is useful. Then there are Juliet's sisters, Rosalind and Cordelia, each with their own personalities and skills, adding a touch of family dynamics and humor to the plot. Because what would a zombie hunter be without her dysfunctional family and a sensei who seems straight out of a 70s kung fu movie? Absolutely nothing. And we can't forget about the true protagonists of the chaos. Swan, the main antagonist, is a dark sorcerer who plans to conquer the world using zombies. But the real highlights are the bosses of Zombie Rock, the 5 bosses Juliet must defeat. Each one represents a music genre and boasts a unique design, personality, and set of abilities, making them more than just enemies. They're a celebration of pop culture and music. Zed, the god of punk, is an unruly rebel with a vibrant red mohawk and an attitude that screams anarchy. Armed with a microphone that turns his insults into physical attacks, Zed is fast, aggressive, and masochistic, enjoying pain as much as he inflicts it. His battle is chaotic and full of raw energy, reflecting the essence of punk rock: messy, fast, and unapologetic. Plus, his abrasive and vulgar personality makes him as irritating as he is memorable.
This really hurts, man!
Jeez, so emo.
Vika, the boss of zombie rock inspired by Viking metal, is a force of nature. His design evokes Norse warriors, but with a macabre twist. His open torso reveals his entrails, and his pet, Yumil, a zombie bear, fights by his side. Vika embodies the fury and grandeur of metal with epic attacks that include lightning strikes, electrified drums, and a massive growth in his final phase.
I can't be beaten by a little girl! I'm a warrior!
I hear Viking brains are good for the complexion.
Mariska channels the spirit of psychedelic rock through her surreal, trippy design. Inspired by 60s hippie aesthetics, she battles with a sitar and reality-warping bubbles that plunge Juliet into hallucinogenic dimensions. Her battle is a mind-bending trip filled with vibrant colors, giant chickens, and a reality-defying atmosphere. While the calmest of the dark purveyors, her ability to duplicate herself and warp the environment makes her a disorienting yet fascinating opponent.
Choke on your Birkenstocks, you psilocybin-munching moron!
Heavy.
Josie brings 70s funk to the apocalypse with his pink fur coat, keytar, and UFO antics. His fight's a disco inferno of lasers, pixel bombs, and over-the-top showmanship that would make Parliament Funkadelic proud.
Looks like you're out of coins, weird voice guy.
Lewis Legend, the Elvis of the Apocalypse. With a motorcycle that transforms into a mech called Elephant and a guitar that fires bullets, Lewis is pure spectacle. His design evokes classic rock icons, complete with a pompadour hairstyle and a leather outfit oozing attitude. Arrogant and stubborn, his battle is a roller coaster of fast, merciless attacks. He embodies the grandeur and excess of rock, culminating in an epic finale featuring explosions, missiles, and one final sacrifice.
Whole lot of shaking going on.
Each of these bosses isn't just a combat challenge. They're a full-blown love letter to music and pop culture. Their meticulously crafted designs, personalities, and battle sequences serve as vibrant tributes to the genres they embody. This passionate homage is exactly what makes Lollipop Chainsaw so brilliantly unique. Gameplay mechanics. The gameplay in Lollipop Chainsaw is pure hack-and-slash chaos. Juliet wields her chainsaw to slice through zombies, and while the combat might seem simple at first, it quickly grows more complex as you unlock new abilities. For instance, the Chainsaw Blaster lets Juliet attack from a distance,
Chainsaw Blaster!
while Sparkle hunts reward players for taking out multiple zombies with a single strike. And it's not just mindless zombie slashing. As you progress, Juliet grows more powerful, unlocking abilities like the Chainsaw Blaster that make you feel like some badass 80s futuristic hero, leaving a trail of zombie corpses in your wake. Sparkle hunts are one of the game's standout mechanics. When you take out 3 or more zombies with a single strike, the screen erupts in glittering stars and vibrant colors, while slow motion lets you savor every glorious detail. It's a visually stunning effect that perfectly captures the game's over-the-top, delightfully chaotic spirit.
I think we're gonna die.
Be more positive, Nick.
All right, we're gonna die quickly.
Beyond the core combat, the game spices things up with Nick-centric minigames and arcade-style segments that pay homage to classics like Pac-Man and elevator action. These diversions add welcome variety while delivering a perfect shot of nostalgia that complements the overall experience.
Whoa! Things just got all Commodore 64 on us.
The Remaster. The game's remaster brought significant improvements that elevated the original experience. The graphics were enhanced with modern visuals while carefully preserving its classic aesthetic. Gameplay was refined with more responsive controls and an improved interface, creating a smoother, more immersive experience. One of the most notable changes was the rebalanced characters and enemies, fine-tuning the difficulty to be both fairer and more engaging. New game modes and side quests were also added, expanding the game's content and replay value. The audio and music received a full remaster, allowing the soundtrack to shine brighter than ever with enhanced arrangements. Overall, this revamp successfully revitalized the game, appealing to both longtime fans and newcomers alike. The final verdict. Let's be real, Lollipop Chainsaw isn't perfect. The original PS3 version showed clear technical limitations, with frame rate fluctuations and textures that already felt limited for its time. The PS5 remaster polished these aspects, offering greater stability and resolution while intentionally preserving the cartoonish look that defines its visual style. That being said, neither the original version nor the remaster are examples of technical perfection. Both share the same combat that can become repetitive, and those moments where the action doesn't flow as smoothly as it should. The Lollipop Chainsaw Remaster faced significant challenges in preserving its original soundtrack due to licensing issues. This led to the removal of several iconic songs that helped define the game's atmosphere. Among the removed tracks are Pac-Man Fever by Buckner and Garcia, which played in the Full Chief Fun Center level, Heroes of Our Time by Dragon Force, used in the battle against Killabilly, Mickey by Tony Basil, which played when activating the special meter. Is it worth playing today? Absolutely yes. The PS5 version is the most accessible and stable option, but both editions share the unique magic that made Lollipop Chainsaw a cult classic. Pure personality, unapologetic humor, and an energy that few games dare to have. And that's a wrap on the wild, zombie-slaying ride that is Lollipop Chainsaw. If you had fun with this video, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to Rotten Donut for more crazy and fascinating stories from the world of gaming. Did you play this game back in the day, or is this your first time hearing about it? Drop a comment below and see you in the next video.